Saturday morning flights in.
It's not morning, you drongo. It's evening.
Good evening, good morning, good day, good night. Welcome to Positive Rates. We're in Memphis today, as you can tell by the music. Trying to get that Memphis sound when we're going in. A big hello to everybody today. We got Johnny and Nighthawk already on the tarmac. Johnny says, "Yep, and welcome. We're coming to my home city. Welcome, guys." Is that Chicago, Johnny? As opposed to Memphis. Nighthawk says, "I've been up since 4 a.m. to watch football. Took a while to realize we were flying in my home time zone today." Yeah, of course, we're kind of doing a cheat because it's 11 o'clock local time in the sim, but obviously it's still kind of dark out where we are at the moment, but that's okay. G-Hawk says, "Popped in and said I had a good flight. A lot of visitors for the weekend, so I'm on sightseeing, taxi driving." Ah, right, fair enough, G-Hawk. Thanks for popping in. And I think I saw a big Jackals there somewhere at one point. I saw Jacko said how you had. Oh, there he is. Good day, mate. Have an awesome stream tonight, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, it's not morning, it's evening, you drongo. Hopefully you saw that. Yes, sir, Chicago, says Johnny. Yeah, 5 minutes from Chicago Midway. Okay, very cool. So we'll drop you off at your house then when we get to our destination. Cool. Well. Where do we go from here? Oh, right. So this is Memphis, right? Memphis. So both airports today are provided by Orbx, and actually Nick did a excellent write-up in the show notes as well. So we're currently looking at Memphis, which is BMWorld, an AV sim available from Orbx. You can get that here, and it's a two-part airport. Memphis, isn't it? Because you've got kind of the main terminal there, what I would say would be the main terminal anyway. We'll speed this up a bit, but there's also a secondary terminal over here. So I'm presuming this is maybe the original terminal. There's a lot of stands here, I've noticed. So if you're looking at the parking map, there's a lot of places to put airplanes here, but I imagine that's all served kind of by buses and things like that. So I would think that's probably the original Memphis terminal. And then you have kind of the main terminal here with some lovely detailing as well. I love that tower. The tower looks quite cool. It's nice and white. A little bit of interior detailing as well. It's very cool. Big air traffic control tower, actually. I wonder if that's indicative that that's massive. Sorry, I'm losing track of my... So we got nice multi-story car park there as well. Don't think you go inside there. No, that's just kind of an external render thing here. Going to your arrival departures area. I would say this is probably... I beg your pardon. There is some interior modeling here. Look at this. Wow. It's actually quite nice. And you've got escalators going below here. That's cool. Sorry, I'm trying to slow down the camera. But yeah, that's actually quite nice. Quite nice. The little American flag on the wall there. Southwest. I'm presuming Southwest must really sing here then. It's pretty cool. So we're all, I think that's kind of the main concourse area. I don't know if any of these areas are internally modeled. Take a peek. Oh yeah. Some light modeling, I would say. Nothing major. So yeah, but it's lovely detailing outside. I love the bridges. If I go just to take a look at the bridge here. Oh, I don't know why that bridge is pulled off actually. That bridge looks really cool. I'll just show you. Come on, come back. Oh, well, it's done this weird thing where it's disconnected. Fine. Okay, I'm not going to argue with it. Anyway, is it in the north for cargo? Could be Nighthawk. Yeah, could be. But it looks like it might have been Actually, that would make sense because then it would all be stand-based, wouldn't it? And everything would just kind of offload. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, while we get the music running here, won't we get things started? I'll bring up the sim noises. And I guess Nighthawk, it looks like you're already started up. So 2999. Sorry, Johnny says Midway is also primary at Southwest Airport, probably 70 to 80%. Wow, pretty impressive. Okay, anyway, I think we're just about ready to go here, so I'll get the tug pulled up. Beacon on, we'll start that APU as well.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
And hopefully everyone's had a good week. My week's been kind of boring. Boring. Although I had a bit of a medical emergency earlier in the week, but I'm okay. Just a bit of a scare. Something to do with an allergic reaction, which I didn't expect, so. But I'll tell you, everything in Flight Simulator is kind of getting drowned out by another game at the moment. I don't know if anyone can guess what game I'm talking about, but it's the hype is like 150%. It's absolutely unbelievable. Let's see if you can guess what game I'm talking about. It's releasing very shortly. Okay, we've got power on the APU, so we can turn that off. Put on our fuel. And parking brake off. So actually, sorry, I didn't go through the route, so I'll just do that really quick. So I have posted the OFP in the chat there, but so we're taking off. We're using the Stealth Self 7 departure, which all basically says is just take a manual runway line out and then turn towards Betty, and then we're going to pick up Uhulu straight up to Echo November Lima, and we're going to take the ND6 approach into Chicago Midway, and it's 1-3 center today. 1-3 center. It gave me SimBrief wasn't really giving me good runways for the winds today. I don't know why, but 1-3 center seems to be kind of the best bet. It's ILS approach as well, so we'll kind of come in up here and then down the way, that direction. So yeah, it's all good. All good anyway. Nick says g'day, or sorry, Dan says g'day to get in. How you doing? Starfield, yeah, Nighthawk, well done. Yeah, Starfield. Starfield's on my mind. It's on my mind. It's preloaded on my Xbox as well, which is really brutal, because I've got Game Pass. So there was a footprint thing, and then the next thing I knew, there was like 100 gigs downloading onto my Xbox, and it's like, so the game is physically on my Xbox, but I can't play it, which is really frustrating. It's just like Bethesda going, you know, it's, oh my god. I know some people have review codes, that's why it's come out now, but oh man, it's so annoying, so awful. Right, beacon is on. I think we can push out, so we're actually going to push out to the north. Sorry, that was the one key thing I wanted to talk about. So we're here. We're going to take runway 9 out, or I'm taking runway 9 out, so we're going to push back and then take Mike up to November, right to the foot of runway 9, take off that direction. There we go. Just in case that wasn't completely clear. Dan says, oh, that is nearly released. I'd love to try it. Not sure the PC can handle it. Well, it's hard to say. I mean, they're not really clear on what how it's going to perform on PC, but I would imagine you can adjust settings and things like that to your spec. I don't think it's going to be horrible. I mean, if it can run Flight Simulator, then chances are it should be playable at some setting, but I can't say for certain. Hey, we'll just do a quick. Actually, no. Let's do a pushback. Okay, let's get going here. Parking brakes off. Back we go. Engines to start. Engine 1. Let's go. Nighthawk says I've had enough of game hype in the last 3 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's funny enough, you know how long the hype's been going. Is I originally I had a PlayStation, and I was deciding between the PlayStation and the Xbox. One of the reasons I didn't like the PlayStation is because I think the PlayStation 5 is the biggest, ugliest piece of crap I've ever seen in my life. I think it's horrible looking. So that put me off. And but anyway, the clincher was that they announced Starfield around the same time as the new Series X, and then said, you know, that's going to be a Series X or an Xbox exclusive. So I was like, bang, okay, you got me. I have to go Xbox. So I've been, since I bought that console, which is coming up 2 years now, I've been waiting all this time for Starfield, and it's almost here. It's almost here. So, and a lot of inside guys that I've been talking to say it's actually really, really good. They said obviously you're gonna get bugs. It is a Bethesda game, but they say, you know what? Despite all that, it's such a great time. And they're only, I mean, most people have only had like maybe 12, 13 hours to play it. And the guys that I've talked to, both of them said I basically played it until I fell asleep, until I was literally like at the controller like that. So that's, to me, that's really encouraging, and it sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Dan says I sold my Series X to put towards my Ryzen 9 and got a PS5. Now why? What's the point? Oh, poor Series X. I kind of understand. I'll tell you the game I've been playing recently on Xbox, what came out recently on the Game Pass there. Bramble is such a great game. I don't know if you guys are familiar with games like Little Nightmares or Limbo, you know, that kind of genre. It's like a platform noir type of thing. But yeah, Bramble is just, it's a nice tidy little game built in Unreal Engine 5. It's not graphically, it's not crazy, but there are moments where you're like, oh, this is really pretty, you know. But yeah, I've been playing that, so that's kind of keeping me busy until Starfield eventually gets released. And I'm really gutted because when it does come out, I've got to fly. I think I have maybe 2 days to play the game, and then I've got to fly to London for business. I'm like, no. So I might see if there's like a cloud feature, because a lot of the new games that come out you can play on cloud, and it syncs your save. So maybe I'll take a controller with me when I go down south and just, you know, play it on my work laptop or something like that. I'll see if that might work. But it's not the same. It's always better when you got it installed. Okay. Pushback is reasonably good. Put on the parking brake. Tug, you can go away. Thank you for your service. Engine 2. Let's see if that tug is actually leaving. Was the tug even ever there? Who knows? I see Nighthawk. Alright, you guys are going that way. Okay, that's fine. So is anybody else looking forward to Starfield, or am I the only one? I'm just, I'm totally drinking the Bethesda Kool-Aid at this point. Engine 2 spooling up. check the weather, so it's still 110. Yeah, I'm still looking about the same. 299 is set on the barrel. Good. These speeds are in. Thrust reduction at 1820. That's all fine. Okay. Landing lights on. Turn that EPU off. Oh, forgot to put the seatbelts on. Get your seatbelts on, folks. And chrono. Too much talking. I'm just too excited for Starfield, that's why. Alright, here we go. Dan says, yeah, it does look good. I'd like to give it a try. I'm just very aware about Bethesda's track record with bugs and laziness. Skyrim. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Dan, but despite that, Skyrim was a remarkable game. At least it was for me. And I mean, it's known for bugs, but the bugs kind of get overplayed a bit too. Yeah, you do get bugs, but it's like anytime like an NPC does something weird, people are like, "Oh my god, the game's so broken," and it's, yeah, you know, I get it, but I mean, it's never going to be 100%. The games that they make are so massive, and the one thing about Skyrim, and they're actually saying Starfield probably has more in common with Skyrim than it does with Fallout, which is really interesting, is because the quest lines are so diverse. And there's just so much to do. There's everything's so deep in the storyline and all that kind of thing, and yeah, just looking forward to it. And it's a nice kind of switch up from flight sim. You know, that's pretty much all I've been doing right now is simming. So I think that'll give me something to do. I might actually, I don't know if you guys would be interested in me streaming it. I could potentially stream just playing Starfield. I don't know if that would be popular or not. Dan says, I'm not highly critical of it. Just the only reason Skyrim survived was because of the mind computer. Disagree. Nah, I disagree. It was a good game from the start. I think the only reason that Skyrim has persisted, you gotta remember, Skyrim's over 10 years old. Like that, I bought Skyrim on the 360. So, yeah, it's old, and the only reason it continues to be popular is because of the modding community. So I do agree with you on that, but that's not the reason for its success. It was a successful game with or without the mods. Okay, let's get our flaps set into first position there. Probably put on our predictive wind shear and weather radar as well. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Turn on transponder. I think we're going the right way. Yep. Just about to come up to runway 9 here. Okay, who's behind me? There's Johnny, there's Nighthawk. Alright, we'll put TCAS on.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Everything on, strobe on. Anything else all good? 10,000 initial set because we don't have any restrictions or constraints on the SID. Takeoff config would be good. Anyway, so here we go. Max. With cabin. Spoilers to arm. And takeoff config test. Nothing there. I think we'll stay on the brakes, just pull it up. Okay, we do have a configure. Could just be we have the parking brake on, I'm not sure. No, okay, it was parking brake, I think. Which fly-by-wire version am I running? Not sure. We could probably, once I get up to cruise, we can have a look at that. I think it's in the notes in the MCDU, isn't it, Dan? It's definitely got some new issues that I haven't seen before, I'll tell you that much. Or new things. Seems to be getting much closer to the Fenix. Oop. Come on. Okay. Chrono on. Oh, development. Sorry, development. Always development. 50%. Look at those runway textures. Love them. Toga. He came no blue. No green at all. Yeah. Approaching V1. Rotate. Positive rate gear up. Waiting for 1800. Climb thrust. Gauge auto pallet. Nighthawk says if you have a yellow in-op sticker in your development. Sorry, I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me, Nighthawk. Okay, flaps up. Release the crew. And we'll head for Betty. The sticker color. Sorry, that silly heart's in the way again. The sticker color tells you the FBW version. Oh. What? Well, it's a development version anyway. You talking about that sticker there? Look at that. Say goodbye to Memphis. Play some tunes for you. Johnny's up. So is Nighthawk. Dan says, I love the sound as the air comes up, that whirling, whistling sound. Yeah, that's right. I love it too. Okay, let's do some cleanup here. Turn all these guys off. Approaching 10,000. Take seatbelts off, that's fine. Ooh, still got some stuff armed here, so ground spoilers off. Speed limit exceeded. Oh, that's interesting. Why is the auto throttle off? How strange. Alright, let's take it up to 370. That's very unusual. The auto throttle came off for some reason, not sure why. Never seen that happen before, unless maybe I hit the throttle by accident, not sure. Block time so far 11 minutes, that's not bad actually. We got to the runway pretty fast. Anything else we need to worry about? Ignition. Okay, ECAM looks good. Everything else looks good. Good, off we go. There we go. Everyone's really quiet in the chat today. Right, so anyways, flight sim wise, there was a suggestion. Turn music down just a bit. There was a suggestion that PMDG might be bringing out the 777 this before Christmas. So if that happens, just a question to everybody on the chat: do you think is that something you're going to pick up? Could be quite interesting. But we haven't seen anything about the 777. That's the thing. So I mean, everyone knows that PMDG is working on it, but I'm not aware of anything, any details really been released about it. So it's all going to be just one big surprise, or they're going to have probably a big reveal at some point in the near future. But I still think for it to come out this year is probably a bit ambitious, considering there's not been a lot of press about it. At least not that I'm aware of. Look at that. I love all the... I should know what that river is. I want to say it's the Mississippi, but... could be the Missouri. I'm not sure. Still climbing. Yeah, so the block time's about 1 hour 45. I think the flight time works out to be around an hour 10, hour 15. Johnny says, I'm not sure I maxed out on my add-on budget for the year. Yeah. Nighthawk says, PMDG keeps things quiet on updates. They're very anti-hype. So when... Yeah, I agree. It will be probably just a big surprise then, yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I suppose, and that's probably a better way to do it. I mean, you know, because if you, there's some companies which I won't name, but they tend to do a lot of press kind of before something comes out, and then when it does ultimately come out, people are a bit disappointed. So yeah, it's probably better just to say, you know, when it's just about ready, here it is, boom, boom, boom. This is what it, not what it's going to be, but this is what it is, if you know what I mean. And then release it, and then people can make their own decisions at that point. But I think Gamescom, of course, is happening right now as well. It's in Germany. It'll be interesting to see if there's... there won't be more detail on Starfield, per se. Well, there will. But I think potentially they're going to be talking a bit more about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which should be interesting. Because I'm really curious on how the architecture works on that that new version. Go to standard. And Q&H for Midway, I think, was 3005, right? Okay. Or 30.5. But the scenery around here, it's just it's kind of rinse and repeat, typical America, isn't it? Just farms and towns, farms and towns. Lemon Wolf is in. He says, "Afternoon, afternoon, Lemon Wolf. How are you doing? Great to see you." We're somewhere over Tennessee, crossing north towards Illinois. So I wonder if the flight map actually gives you a better idea where you are. Oop. Yeah, no, the flight map doesn't really tell you. Almost need like one of those, like a Google Earth thing with the geographic regions where I can track it that way. That'd be interesting. Oh, that's kind of new. I've never noticed that before. Look at the kind of the screech, or not screech marks, but the like smears on the screen in the sun. Was that new? Never noticed that before. That's kind of neat. Johnny Munn says just over the over Blytheville. That's, I know that's not Arizona. What's that? Tell me what ER is. Arkansas? No, not Arkansas. Lim Wolf says I did a short. That's a curious tune. Very out of place track on there. What is Arkansas? Okay. I always thought Arkansas was a bit further south for some reason. Anyway, where was it? My train of thought's gone completely out the window now. Commands. What are you trying to... What are you looking for, Lemon Wolf? Exclamation help. There you go. Does it sound Memphis enough for everybody? Johnny says, just on the other side of the river to the west of Memphis. You're in Arkansas. Okay, alright, fair enough. We only got about another 20 minutes of Memphis music, and then we're switching over to Chicago music. So I've actually got theme music for each city. I did my best to find music that I thought fit the Chicago scene. So Nighthawk, you could probably give me a, or Johnny, you can give me a readout on that. Alright guys, I'm just be right back. I'm just gonna grab a quick glass of water and I'll be right with you. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. Johnny says, I'm no Chicago music aficionado, but I'll do what I can. Okay. Oh dear. Nighthawk, anyone know how to turn off VH3 voice? I can't get ATIS to shut up. I'm not sure. Not sure at all. I don't really use that ATIS. Is that, are you using like VATSIM ATIS or Microsoft ATIS? The other thing you do is just change the frequency on the comm channel. You used to get a moving map on this, didn't you? But I think they've changed it. Lemon Wolf says, or sorry, Nighthawk. Microsoft ATIS turned itself on and I can't get it off. Oh, no idea. It's very strange. Lemon Wolf says I might have flown 2 to 3 times max in the US. I don't have any scenery at all for the US. Yeah, well, that's fair news. There is a lot of scenery available. I mean, I guess it really depends on where you want to fly. I quite like the U.S. tends to be more complex in terms of the stars. That's one of the things I do like about it. So you have to kind of put the plan together a bit more sensibly. Nighthawk says, okay, got it off and had to turn Ritos too close. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. In terms of our route, just about a third of the way. Yep, as it does see down there. So, does anybody have anything interesting they're going to do this weekend? Let me know. The most exciting my day is going to get today is I need to go shopping with my wife. And I got to take my son to judo. So much like J-Hog, I'll be driving around doing what I'm told. What a life, eh? But we haven't decided what to make for well, we call it tea, but we haven't decided what to make for dinner tonight. So give me some ideas. What if you could make anything you want for dinner tonight? What would it be? Johnny says, "Oh, you're going off to the Cubs game today? Awesome! I'd love to go to a Cubs game." Yeah, I saw the Blue Jays set an attendance record this year as well. Strangely, it's probably the biggest attendance they've had since 1993. Because there was a couple of guys on ESPN, they couldn't figure out why, because the Jays aren't even ranking that high, but for whatever reason, they're just pulling in the crowds. Bone in, there you go, Johnny says, bone in ribeye, and a twice baked potato. A twice baked potato, okay. Nighthawk Mexican tacos, that's a good shout too. The family does like tacos. That's a really good idea, actually. I like Johnny's. Johnny's would be far more flavorful and tasty. The only problem is I don't know where I'm going to get a ribeye. It's very hard to get in Scotland. Lemon Wolf barbecue. What? Just like barbecue as like a stock meat? Barbecue. Anything specific? Look it up and try it. You won't regret it. Yeah, I will. The twice baked potato. Yeah, I'll look it up. Actually, I got a few recipes that have come from the States. So, my honey garlic chicken wing recipe comes from the States, and I've got a my burger recipe, which we've got friends begging us for now, and I won't give it to them. But it's actually I did come up with it. I found a recipe and merged it with another one. So it's actually an American recipe I've merged with a Gordon Ramsay recipe, but it's not more the Gordon Ramsay isn't more the recipe, it's more the how you cook it. So I've got the American recipe with the Gordon Ramsay kind of approach. I've merged it together plus a couple tweaks on my own, and it's, my God, the burgers are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Plus I bought a new burger press, so I've got a I think it's about a 6-inch burger press. About that, see that size. So it makes the burgers a lot flatter, but because of my recipe, when they start cooking, they start kind of growing in size. But now with the new presses, they just kind of come to about that size, which is really perfect. And yeah. Lemon Wolf says just nope. Scotland, I thought you're in Canada. Yeah, I am. I'm Canadian, but I live in Scotland. Or Kentucky Fried Chicken, yummy. Yeah, we do have KFC around here. I presume you mean from KFC. Johnny says that's awesome. We got a good gotta have a good burger recipe in your arsenal. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I see Nighthawk. Johnny, you must have a slightly different route. But when you said barbecue lemon wolf, did you mean anything specific? Just general barbecue? Yeah. Is that what the note was? So we're at 37,000. Top of descent is, we're talking probably about 140 miles ish, maybe 130. Do some quick checks. Fuel on board 4,360 kilos. Estimate to have 2.5 kilos by the time we get to Chicago, so that's completely acceptable. Barbecue sauce. Oh right, hang on, sorry I missed a bit. Just grab some barbecue and put it on some meat. You can't use, alright. Barbecue sauce. Okay. Yeah, no, that's, I wouldn't agree with that. I know people that do that. Doesn't necessarily mean what they're making is good, but oh, that looks cool. I like it's generally obviously a lot more flat around this area, but you do get some interesting kind of characteristics. I'll print the music back down again there. Sorry, my phone's dinging. But yeah, the twice baked. I like the idea of the twice baked potato. That sounds interesting. Check that out. My wife's trying to get me into quinoa, but it's not working. Don't know if you tried quinoa. It's kind of like one of these things that people say is good for you, and it's very tasty, but it's not tasty, and I don't really care if it's good for me. But we also had some potato salad the other day. My wife makes really good potato salad. So we had a party. Barbecue, kind of, some guests came over and they were like, oh, I'll bring a potato salad. So like when someone from Britain brings over potato salad, you're like, okay. Anyway, so it was, they did, and it was alright. It wasn't bad, but it's like there's never any seasoning in it. It's always so bland. It's like if you boiled some potatoes and just threw mayonnaise on it. That's pretty, it's about as interesting as it gets. Nighthawk says Vietnamese po, yeah, is really good if you can get authentic. I have had authentic po actually. There's a Vietnamese cafe in London that we sometimes go to when I'm down in business, and I've actually, it's in a basement. Like, it's honestly, it's one of these kind of hole-in-the-wall places, but I guess those are usually the best. But yeah, I've had po, and it is really, really nice. I do agree. Johnny says, I'm a German potato salad kind of guy. Yeah, me too. Me too, but to an extent. The stuff you buy in the shop is like in supermarkets is awful. But if you actually get proper made stuff, it can be quite nice. I think Lim Wolf is laughing at my potato salad story. But no, it's just, man, people in Britain, they just don't know how to season stuff at all. Honestly, I think they just want everything bland. And then that's why, like, Chinese food over here, and everybody has their like or dislike for Chinese food. I imagine most people like it, right? But North American, you get authentic Chinese food, and then you get kind of the street food or fast food Chinese version, right? So in Britain, generally, it's all kind of fast food, but it's completely different and weird and, like, just not good. Like, just, and it's all very gloopy. Like, everything's all in some sort of thick gravy or syrup or sauce, and it's always brown as well. I'm like, Chinese food should not be brown. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's Chinese food. I always think is very colorful. But yeah, Britain's got some strange ideas about Chinese food. Keep getting things from Discord here. How do I shut that up? Oh, homemade German potato salad. Yeah, absolutely, Johnny. Absolutely. Store-bought is trash. Spot on. Bland British cooking, like curry, is so popular in the UK. Yeah, exactly. Having said that, Indian food in Britain is phenomenal. Like, really, really good. Really, really good. Now, I mean, there's a lot of different, like China, there's a lot of different regions in India as well. So the type of Indian food you get is there's all sorts of different types. So there's not one, like, Indian food kind of thing. But, and there is, some of it has been adapted to the British taste, I suppose, but generally any Indian food you get, if you go to a proper restaurant, proper takeout place, is really, really nice. It's really good. Quite enjoyable. Oh, I'm getting dinged. Which means if I can hear it, that means you guys can hear it as well. Let's do my head in. Right, I didn't know why that song's playing. Is it time to switch to the Chicago music, do you think? Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Give that a go. Johnny says not too far south and west of Midway is a large Muslim community. Lots of Middle Eastern cuisine. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a place in Edinburgh called it's called the Mosque Kitchen, which is basically, it's a mosque, but what they've done, they've because they're cooking all the time, decided to kind of open like a little restaurant to the public. Very popular, really, really tasty as well. And again, you get a lot of diversity in Muslim food as well. So you get, Lebanese, I guess, technically falls under that. A lot of different Pakistani dishes. Obviously, dishes from, like, there'll be like Saudi Arabian or Iranian cuisine as well. So yeah, there's plenty of different things to taste, and very, very very nice. And actually, even Indian, on the Indian side, you get, which is probably more, again, with the Pakistani side, like any of the population that speaks Urdu. have their own kind of dishes as well. I love food. I just love international food from all cultures and backgrounds. The only thing I'll say is, if anybody on the Chinese side, if ever anyone bets you to eat a 1,000-year-old, or I think they call it a 1,000-year-old egg, it's not actually a 1,000-year-old egg, but it's a Chinese delicacy. Throw it out the window. Just run away. Just run away. Because one of the other things they eat is chicken's feet, and if you think chicken's feet sounds horrible, the egg is worse than that, like 10 times worse. So just run away. Johnny says that's why it'd be hard pressed to ever leave here. The food options are insane. Yeah, I do miss Hamilton for that reason. We had a lot of choice. Nighthawk says I love spicy food and Asian food. Yeah, as do I. Although I can't eat as much of it as I used to because it start to get indigestion if I've packed too much away. It's not. I can probably have one meal a week. But if I had spicy food on Wednesday night and then spicy food on Thursday night, I'll start getting really bad indigestion. So, maybe all that talking, we're only 70 miles away from Taco Descent. 70 miles. Where's the time go? C9 Hawk. Oh, Johnny wants. You're kind of way off to the west of me. He's taking a completely different route. And somehow Johnny will find a way to beat me to the airport, I'll bet. Right, so talk through the approach while we're sitting here yakking. So ND6 arrival. We are coming in via Phoebe, right here. Joining into the ND waypoint. And then... because we are going for runway 13 center, we're going to kind of cut up to Pakak, which actually says here, so to Gorlick up that way, and then it's basically just a vector ourselves until we get into the 13C approach, which is 138 degrees. So we'll pick up Hebku at 2,600 feet. So I think we're about 6,000 at Peacock, and then slowly make our way down to 2,600 as we get to Hebku. And at that point, it's really just a matter of picking up the ILS. Runway is about 5,600 feet, I think. 13 center. Oh, 6,500 feet. That's not too bad. And I think it is a displaced runway, so you've got to watch that. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to go down. Johnny says we'll be flying right over my office. Oh, cool. So what do you do, Johnny, for work? Right. Just anything I'm not thinking about. So we'll set our initial. We've got constraints anyway in the plan, so we'll let that fly. Again, Peacock, I think I said 6,000 feet, didn't I? Yeah. So, just wait for that. We're probably getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Still about 50 miles off. Operations manager for Intermodal Trucking Company. Oh, okay. My cousin, one of my cousins, does something very similar. They are I think he's like the head of logistics or something like that for. They do trucking and international shipping as well. So, because I asked him, he says, so what do you do in your job? He goes, we pick up stuff from A and we move it to B. And then we pick up stuff from C and we move it to D. That's pretty much how he explained it. He's quite a character anyway. You can see Johnny way off to the west there anyway. Yep. Yep, says Johnny. Yep, that's it. Obviously, there's the whole thing of making sure you got equipment in place and time and weather and all sorts of things that can make life interesting. I would appreciate, but yeah, it's it's like I'm getting to that same point where people ask me about my job. I'm like, wow. We say, well, what do you do? I said, well, I'm in IT. And they said, well, what do you do in IT? And I'm like, there's a group of people that expect the best, and I'm in charge of making sure the other group of people that are building the stuff for the group of people that expect the best aren't screwing things up. And the person will go, okay. And the funny thing is, they don't really want a further answer to that. They're like, yeah, okay, fine. Because why go into more detail? Why go into more detail? So I completely understood. Intermodal deals with rail containers. Okay, that's cool. So do you have a lot of dealings with is it CP Rail or CN? One of the Canadian companies owns like a third of the railway track in America. I can't remember if it's CP or CN. I think it might be CP. It is CN. Okay. Name me one thing that isn't transported by truck in one way, shape, or form. Yeah, Canadian National. Yeah. I was in the CN Tower. Yeah. Yeah, they own a lot of stuff. CN. They bought up all these little rail companies in the States just over a period of years, decades, and suddenly became like a complete monster. But the surprising fact that for me was when I found out they owned a third of all the railway track in the United States. So usually it's American companies owning everything in Canada and not the other way around. Okay, where are we? Top of descent is now coming up 20 miles. Yeah, we work with CN, says Johnny, BNSF, CSX, NS, and UP. Yeah, okay. Yeah, very cool. All with their unique individual challenges, I'm sure. Trains obviously aren't always on time. Cargo trains probably even less so. Anyway, I forgot to ask you this. So this is the Chicago music playing now. Hopefully it sounds something like Chicago. I don't know. Right. Just gonna take that range back a bit so we can keep an eye on the top of the descent there. I'll tell you, since they put the VNAV in, it makes it so much easier. Okay, 10 times easier. Right. That's all good, that's all good. Got to meet in Discord, so you'll keep getting Discord alert sounds, guys. Sorry about that. Another Airbus 220 up in the air. Oh, looks like Nighthawk's already started his top of descent. It was funny because I was doing a flight yesterday, and so I was nearing the top of the descent. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna run downstairs, go for a pee, grab a glass of water, be back up. It'll be right at the top of the descent. So I went downstairs and went for a pee. Got out. My wife's like, oh, I need you to. Where's the whatever it is? Where's the? She was looking for the key to the shed. I'm like, where's the key to the shed? Right. So we started looking around. Key to shed. I don't know where it is. Completely forgot about the flight sim. So eventually, I was sitting there. I got a glass of water because I was still thirsty. I'm sitting on the couch watching my TV. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Ran back upstairs, completely blown past the top of the descent. I was like, oh. So, I ended up just... Oh, there we go. And I've just done it again. So, yeah, eventually I had to circle around and kind of come down. And anyway, I've literally just done it again on stream talking to you guys, not paying attention. Let's see, once we'll get a profile indication at some point, so we'll see if we can catch up to it. 2,000 but profile. Okay. So, if in doubt, speed up. Nighthawks is Category 4 hurricane. Category 4! Bearing down in California. Oh, man. Wow. California doesn't really get a lot of hurricanes, do they? That could be very interesting. That must be first. What do you mean that must be first? Sorry, I don't understand. Question 9, Hawk. Yeah, not typically, but they are not completely rare. Yeah, fair enough. They do get them periodically, but not as much as, say, Florida or Texas. Okay, so we need to be at below 270 and above 230 at Poogie. There's some amazing waypoint names on this one. Amazing waypoint names. Catching up to profile now. So once we do gain on our profile, I'll just switch it back into managed speed and it should hopefully keep it. Category 4 would be a big deal. Yeah, I agree. You stand corrected. Oh, Nighthawk. Sorry, California's never had a hurricane since tracking began 80 years ago. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I must admit, I couldn't recall a hurricane hitting California for... Because there's not really a lot that generates from the Pacific, is there? Whereas obviously other places in the Pacific, you get... more on the south side, you get the typhoons, which are quite severe. Okay, I think we're pretty much being on profile now, so go back to manage speed. Just take the range out a bit. So our next cut point is below 16,000, above 14,000 at Nanny. So you got Poogie, Nanny. See if we can figure out what the theme is around here. Pacific, Mexico, and Central America do get hurricanes, yeah. Right, Pacific, Mexico. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Okay. So the question is, how far south do you have to be before it becomes a typhoon? Is that below the equator? Or is that like we call it a east or west thing? Imagine it's probably below the equator. Something to do with the so they spin the opposite direction with the convection current. It's a hemispheric thing, yeah. North and south, yeah. Okay, well on profile now, looking good. Nighthawk says, I think it's West Pacific and Asia that gets typhoons. Yeah, we get them in the Indian Ocean too, don't you? I think it's the southern hemisphere. I'm sure it'll get Googled at some point. Okay. Drop them below 20, so we got to remember our transition altitude's 18,000 feet. That's quite high in the States. So 3005, so it has changed a little bit. Winds are still roughly the same direction, pretty small, so we should be fine on 13 center. And because we're mean, I think I'll tell the passengers to get their seatbelts on as well. Just give the cabin crew a little bit of extra time to clean up and get everyone settled. As always, when you put on the seatbelts, you would expect the passengers to immediately sit down, but they don't. They mill about for another 5 minutes, sitting in toilets, trying to get the stuff out of their thing, and eventually, you know, the crew have to come through and tell them, do you know the seatbelt signs are on? Can you just sit your ass down? So that's why I think pilots nowadays tend to put on the seatbelt sign a little bit earlier, just to give the crew extra time to get everybody sat down. Okay. So think about once we hit MIG, we'll switch into approach mode. Oh, approach information would be good though, eh? Surprised it hasn't complained about that yet, actually. QNH, what do we say, 3005? Temperature is a balmy 17 degrees. Probably considered cold for the States. Mag's wind is 180 and 5 knots. 180/05. And barrel. 861 barrel. I'll do, or 250 radial. Full config sounds good to me. There we go. Okay. So we've missed our 3005 and 300. What does that translate to? 18. That's there. And we need to be below 9,000 at meg, so at the moment it says we're just below profile, so that's looking completely fine. VNav is doing its job, which is great. Probably put those lights on just to give us a little bit of extra drag. I presume everyone's, Johnny's, he's dropping down. Right, Hawk's pretty much on level with me. So I should get good shots of you guys coming in on the camera anyway. And we're going to get ready to drop that speed down to 250. We'll do that now. Just so we don't lose our descent, I'm just going to put the brakes on temporarily. Otherwise, we're going to end up riding above profile. Now you hear that noise. I actually hear that noise regularly at planes flying over my house. Because they're doing the same thing. They're cutting down to 250 knots, and it makes this kind of bucket noise. It's really weird, but I hear it all the time. It's especially prominent on the Airbus 320s as well. So there we go. So we've dropped ourselves to 250, and we've kept ourselves pretty much close to the profile, which is perfect. Plane's now going to make its way down to ND, so it says we have to be below 7,000 feet. And then once we get to Skinny, see, Hercule's already on that map, actually. Interesting. Drop ourselves to 2,600 in readiness for our approach. The HEBQ. Where's Hercule and all that? I don't know why that's coming up, actually. Interesting. Oh, that might be HEBQ. Yeah, it's HEBQ. Just looks like Hercule because of the overlap. Right, we'll arm the approach phase. Whoa, definitely getting some winds now. Hammer 229. Yep, yeah, that's it. Ooh, you know, I never did this speed on Volanta. Do that. Still on profile. Just drop our range a little bit here so we can get a more granular view. Yeah, hammer, yeah. I like the hammer too. Okay, everything we should need to think about here. So, seat belts are on, landing lights on. Not quite ready for the approach, so we'll just remember to put our armor spoilers and our braking. Now, braking, I'll probably go for medium braking because it is a short runway. Actually, could get away with low, but I'll put low. See how I feel. Might go medium today. Just to give us some time, hopefully we'll get to the exit gate. But as we're coming in, because we're coming in on 13 center, so there is probably going to run right along and try and see if we can get that exit on Kilo. Then we can just round ourselves back to the concourse, and we'll all gather up somewhere within in the cul-de-sac here. Looks like Terminal 1's on one side, Terminal 2 is on the other, so maybe Terminal 1. Somewhere in this cul-de-sac we'll gather. Hopefully everyone's okay with that. Okay. Just about at 6,000. So I think we can safely take that down to 2,600 now. That will be our platform altitude for our ILS intercept. Double check that on there. 3/8, looking good. I saw J-Hog lurking in the background there. Not sure what he's up to. How's it going, Willy? Grr. What are you grumbling at, J-Hog? What's wrong? You getting pushed around again, sir? I think what we'll do is we'll clear out that manual approach. Just head straight for Gorlick and just do a quick double check. There we go. J-Hog says, Nick says shopping again, yeah. J-Hog says, at a heritage park, bring your guide. Yeah, wife's friend up for a weekend, so I'm a taxi driver, yeah. I take, is this a female friend or a male friend? Sorry, I'm just curious. Just blind curiosity at this point. But yeah, I know your pain, mate. I know your pain. I take it your wife doesn't drive then, J-Hog. Is that part of the problem? Mind you, she couldn't drive right now anyway because she's still kind of recovering, isn't she? Nighthawk says there's 320 Neo on the left might be on approach. Is there? Oh, so there is. Yeah. Female, no bloody what? No bloody bail. I'll have her put on eBay, no takers. Oh man. We've gone a long way from sympathy for your wife because she had the problems with her back and all that to now it's like, oh man, I just want to sell her on eBay. Oh, well, too funny. Okay. I think we're still good at 250 knots, so I'm not going to change that just yet. What I do want to do, however, is get us down to 2600 a bit quicker. Because I want to make sure we hit our platform before we get into that turn, just so we're right underneath the glide scope. Lemonwolf says, yeah, it looks like you're having fun. What you need to do, J-Hog, is do a selfie of yourself sitting in the car waiting on your wife and her friend. Just so we can really get the image of what J-Hog looks like when he's not happy. And post it up in the pub for us. Say, this is J-Hog as a taxi driver. Okay, cabin crew, get ready. Okay, spoilers are armed, that's fine. We said we want medium braking, don't we? About 10 miles from our turning final. Oh, I could just imagine. I could just imagine what you're going to look like tonight, J-Hawk. I can just imagine. Okay, good airplane, well done. Approaching 2600 now. And we are coming up to the city of Chicago. Final checks. Spoilers are armed. Auto brake is set. Cabin crew are alerted. Landing system, that'll be good. We are below the glide scope, which is perfect. Localizer first. We see that starting to move. I'll just put in an approach right away. But man, are we getting chucked around. Really, really chucked around. localizer intercept. Oh, just flew past it. And you can see the glide scope approaching, so put in approach mode. Got 3 single. Got 3 dual. There's runway in sight. Wish me luck. Probably going a wee bit quick. So we'll drop the gear. Just give us some drag here. That's one thing we didn't do is manage the speed. And we were 5 miles out, so we got a lot of speed to slow down to. This could be interesting. Might be a row around, guys. I didn't manage my speed properly. See how quickly we can get it down.
1,000.
Two miles out. No, coming in too hot. We're going around. Okay, but we could actually try and fly the missed approach procedure here, actually. Have a look at it. If the airplane decides to slow down, that is. There you go. Just turn it around. So that'll give us a perpendicular. What we want to do, just set up a runway line here. We're stable at 3,000, so that's totally cool. And put head Q back in, that might be helpful. Good. Alright, we know it's got to be 2600 there anyway. There's our entry point HEPQ, so that's fine. Sorry, guys. There was no way I was going to try and fake that. It was just not going to be a good scene. Anyway, you can see Nighthawk now. Yeah. And Johnny's coming in as well. So Nighthawk, you look like you're pretty close to final, right? Not that I want to distract you before you land. Yes, but I have no ILS working. Oh, curious. Wonder why that is. Oh, that's Nighthawk descending now. So you can see him going. Good luck on your landing, mate. But yeah, a lot of turbulence today. Heck of a lot of turbulence. Okay, let's try this again. Where's Johnny? I think I'm still ahead of him. Still got time. Wants to make the same mistake again. That's looking a bit better. I think we can manage this landing. Okay, here we go. Let's try again. Look at that. That's a big train yard down there. Looks like a freight one. Okay. For reals. For reals! 3005 is chat. Right. Speed brakes go back into our position. That's fine. Auto brake still at medium. And we'll leave it till about six miles. Just drop that music a little bit. .5 miles. Intercept on the ILS. 6 miles, gear down.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
What's going on? Plane's doing weird things. Oh man. This plane's doing all sorts of weird things. Come on. What is going on? Possibly because it was a missed approach initially. I don't know.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
Yeah, no idea what's going on here.
1,000.
Okay. Hold on.
1,000.
Full flaps. Gear down. But all sorts of panic today. There we go.
500. 500.
Right. I have control. Not bad for landing. Manually landing. Stayed in the runway.
400.
Good job. Well done.
100 above. 300. 300. Minimum 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Down we go. Reverse thrust. And we'll just make that kilo exit as well. Perfect. Oh well, landing made up for the approach, that's for sure. Nicely done, says Lemon Wolf. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Yeah, all sorts of weird stuff happening there. I don't know why. But we made it. Okay, right. Let's see. Where did we say we're going to go now? It's pretty much straight ahead. Okay, so we just hang it right here. By the looks of it. And just find ourselves a gate. What's the southwest plains here? See Nighthawk on the other side over there. I'll come over to where you are, Nighthawk. Try and get somewhere close together. Hopefully there's a gate around there somewhere. Johnny, you just give us a shout when you're on the way in. Static aircraft at these airports. I mean, I do appreciate that obviously you want to kind of show the airport for the traffic it gets, but I just wish they would let you turn the static aircraft off, because not a lot of people want that. On approach 3 miles out. Okay, I'll be right there. Let's get to the drone camera. Let's see if we can catch Johnny. There we go. All yours, Johnny. Let's see what you can do. I'll just while I'm doing that. I'll shut the engines down. That was quite a chill morning stream, this one. Here he comes. Bit long, but some hard braking in the end there. Ooh, it's close. Oh, it's close. Oh, oh, Johnny. Yeah, it looked like you were landing a bit long, and that's the problem with Midway. It actually completely highlights the point with Midway is the runways are exceptionally short. So anyway, and while we're here, we'll give you a bit of a tour. Drop those sim noises a bit. So this is Midway. This one comes from, who is that? Drzewiecki. Or say it, Drzewiecki Design, Also available on Orbx, and yeah, Midway's actually, despite the fact it's not the major airport in Chicago, but look at that Chicago skyline in the background. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that cool? But a lot of regional flights. I know Johnny was mentioning that he lives not far from it. A lot of Southwest, as Johnny implied as well. Don't know if there's any interior rendering. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there you go. So you can actually walk, actually quite a bit of rendering here. I think they've done quite a lovely job of this. You got Brookstone, that'll be, what's that, your bookstore? Got like a, ride the moving walkways. And you can actually take this all the way around. Look at this is really cool. You got your shopping concourse in there. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Chicago etched into the glass. I love that. Midway. Very cool. That's your approach. So you got a looks like a hotel on the other side there. Don't know if that's a little bit of light internal rendering there. And a big parking lot. A lot of trains around here too, so I would imagine Chicago might be quite popular for shipping. Although this is all this is a passenger yard, so which means that Midway is accessible by train, which is really cool. So that must be the main Chicago Midway train station here, then. And even that's rendered. Look at that, guys. Very cool. Yeah, some fantastic detailing around there. What livery is Johnny using? It says Frontier for me, so I'm not sure what he's using. But look at that. If you get a right bird's eye view of Midway, and you can see, which for me makes Midway, I think, one of the more unique airports in the world, because it's got this kind of multi-direction runway arrangement. So there's actually 4 runways there. Actually, there's more than that. There's 5 runways, I think. It's because it is used for light traffic as well. And that's just really cool. Yeah, you got 31 right, left, and center, and then you've got 22 left and right. Absolutely cool. I suspect this is probably a cargo terminal of some description over here, isn't it? Oh no, that could be a private. That's a private VIP section, maybe. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, here comes Johnny coming apart. Oh, I could actually see the bridge come out for. Oh no, let's come out for the other plane. So there you go. Yeah, thanks guys. Big thanks to Johnny and Nighthawk for keeping me company in the skies today, and everyone else that jumped in to say hi. Thanks Lemon Wolf for tagging with us today as well. J-Hog, hopefully your day goes better at some point today. You're not dragged around forever. What else we got in here? I think that's been it. Really, it's been kind of quiet stream. But next week, I don't know what we're doing next week actually. But keep an eye on the channel, and something no doubt will be posted. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you could. That'd be fantastic. Nighthawk says, "Thanks for the flight. You're welcome." You're welcome, mate. Johnny says, "Sorry, I missed it. The orange line goes stagger to the loop." Okay. South Pacific Props, says Nick. There you go. South Pacific Props, right. So we're going to jump back into the GA airplanes this time. So that'll be a change of place, because we have been hitting the airliners of all sorts quite a lot recently. So yeah, we're going back to our roots, guys. We're going to hit the general aviation planes. Should be pretty cool. And hope you'll join us then. And we'll see you next week right here on Positive Rate. Until then, that's me saying toodaloo. And we'll see you next time, folks. All the best.